Happy Monday on a 23-10 run, and Bueller's day off is no more. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more baseball, baby. That's right, as you heard earlier, 23-10 run. Let's see if we can keep that rolling this week. And if you didn't get what I said earlier about Bueller's day off, first of all, it's a great movie. And second of all, Walker Buehler takes the mound for the Dodgers. Has not pitched since 2022 when he was their ace. And so we'll see what he has, but he gets to face the Marlins. Congratulations. Anyways, before we get into this, check out that NBA video. We got our best bets out now for the Monday 2-game slate on a nice 7-1 run. All right, I'm ready to get into it. We got a 10-game slate in the MLB, but of course that means the baseball fun pack. So here we go. The man, Semi Sosa, he had 3 of the top 6 home run hitting seasons. That's right. He does 66, 64, and 63 with 3 asterisks. But anyways, he never led the league in home runs for a season. That's pretty crazy to have 3 home run seasons, 63 or higher, and still have never led the majors in home runs in a season. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. But in this video, we're going to recap the weekend. It was another winning weekend for us. And then we're going to go over the good hitter matchups. It's Monday, so that means the aces of bases. And then we'll talk the good pitcher strikeout matchups, that pitcher report, and end it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button like you guys have been doing all the time. Leave a comment, help this algorithm and our channel grow. And if you are new, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. We are trying to reach 24,000 subscribers by the end of the week. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Hope you all have a great weekend. Now let's get started, and that means the recap. All right, here is the recap, and it was a winning weekend. So we start with Friday, went 3-1 on those 4 best bets, and then on those quarter unit RBI props that we put out every Friday, it was our first losing day for those. So we went 1-3, still only lost like 0.3 units or something like that. But anyways, still got a nice record. We are 10-6 on the RBI props, and then Saturday, we just had 3 straight best bets, and we went 2-1, won a unit there. Hit Scott, the rookie, Christian Scott for the Mets, over 4.5 Ks. He had 6. The A's money line, and they won 3 touchdowns to 0, I believe, that game. That was unbelievable. And then the one loss was the team total parlay because the Orioles continue to hate me now, going on over a year now. And then Sunday, just 2 half unit plays. I want to play it easy. Sundays are weird, and it was a weird day in the MLB. I did 2 half units. We split it. Griffin Canning pitched 16 pitches in the first 2 innings. Just looked like Cy Young. It has been terrible forever, and it still was kind of close, but that was the one we lost. It's hard to recover when a guy only throws 16 pitches when you have an under outs recorded prop. But either way, Dean Kramer got it done, which is an Oriole player, so that's nice. But there's the overall units, and then there's the overall record on the bottom. We are finally in the plus. You gotta love it. So anyways, that is the bets recap. Now let's talk some good hitter matchups. All right, we got 14 good hitter matchups for you today on May 6th, and we start out with a lot of Mets players. 4 of the first 5 are all Mets going up against the very hittable Kyle Gibson. You got JD Martinez there with Francisco Lindor, who has 54 at-bats against him. I mean, the average is good, but out of 19 hits and 54 at-bats, he only has 3 extra base hits and no home runs. So, I mean, that's a lot of singles. That's 16 singles. But either way, it still counts as a hit. And then Jeff McNeil as well. Joey Wendell. Then you got Eloy Jimenez there. And then we got kind of, on the right side, 12 or less at bats for most of these guys. But you know what? It still counts as well, obviously. And we got a couple guys, 3 for 6, Arenado and Nathaniel Lowe for the Rangers, so on and so on. So anyways, take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners today. And now it's time for the aces of bases. All right, every Monday, we like to give you the total bases leaders in the MLB the last 7 days. For some of you guys that like to bet total bases, and I know you're out there. So we got some unknown names right now on the top 10. We got JJ Bleday, how about Michael Massey, Brent Rooker, John Singleton, Abraham Toro. I mean, it's wild right now. We got a few, obviously, with Adley Rutschman and Juan Soto, but that's the first page. Those are the top 10 with the most total bases. Now let's move over to page 2. And we got Rafael Devers and Vlad. We all know those 2. And then we have a cluster in the last 7 spots. And I'm not going to name all of them, but there is a lot. All tied at 12 total bases. So hope this helps you guys get some winners. That's just something we like to do every Monday just to help you guys out. I know we have a ton of different type of bettors out there. The money line bettors, the bases bettors, the hits bettors, all that. So just trying to give you as much help as possible. But now it's time to talk some arms. All right, we got two good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today. The first one, the Mariner, Luis Castillo versus the Twinkies. Minnesota Twins, eighth highest K percentage versus righties this year, 24.6%. I will say the Twins are striking out a little bit less in the last week or two. That's why you see them dropping now down to eighth. Luis Castillo, 49 Ks in 41.2 innings. He has struck out between exactly 6 and 9 in the last six starts. The only time he didn't was his opening day, but the last six starts, he's fallen right in that 6 to 9 category. I don't even know if that helps. I just thought that was interesting. And then the second one, the lefty, Cole Reagans of the Royals facing the Brewers, who have struck out the seventh most against lefties this year at 25.5%. Mr. Reagans, 46 Ks in 36.2 innings. We all know he knows how to miss bats. Just a quick note on this one. The highest K rate team versus lefties that he's faced has just been one team, but twice, the Orioles. They have the 11th highest K percentage team against lefties. So this will be his best K matchup of the year. He had 7 and 4 Ks in those two matchups against the Orioles, who also can crush lefties unless I bet on them. So on the bottom, I just wanted to point out two names. I mean, Zach Wheeler and Jack Flaherty, two very high strikeout pitchers right now this year, but their matchups aren't great. But I still wanted to point it out. The Giants, so Wheeler has 52 Ks and 42.1 innings. Giants 17th highest K rate, so almost made the list, but they're about average. And then Jack Flaherty, who is coming off a huge K game. He has 50 Ks now in 36 innings, but he's facing Cleveland, who has the fourth lowest K rate in the majors. So just some more info I wanted to get out to you. But that's the pitcher strikeouts. And now let's take a peek at the pitcher report. All right, these are the first 5 matchups of the day. And we got a guy on there that most of you will not know. It's Mr. Mason Black pitching for the Giants. He is a highly touted prospect making his major league debut, third round pick in the 21 draft. Cool thing about him that I read about is that he used to spend his childhood sitting in the bleachers at Citizens Bank Park watching the Phillies, and now his first start is in Philadelphia. It's just cool. You got to love baseball. But in the minors this year, he had a 1.01 ERA, a .92 WHIP, and 29 strikeouts over 26.2 innings. He held the opponents in AAA to a 178 batting average. If you want to know what he throws, a mid to upper 90s sinker with a pretty legit slider, it sounds like. So I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched all his minor league games or anything. But anyways, whenever there's a prospect, I like to give you guys some info. And then we got Jack Flaherty over there, we already talked about, coming off a 14 strikeout game against the Cardinals. Absolutely insane. And then Justin Steele, the lefty for the Cubs, Cy Young candidate last year, had a hamstring injury, making only his second start going up against Mr. Yu Darvish. So that's page 1 with the walks, Ks, hits per 9, whatever you guys like. And then if you are new on the bottom, we like to give you the average numbers so you have something to go off of. But let's go check out page 2 now. All right, we got a couple good pitchers here. We've already talked about Cole Reagans, but he has given up 1 earned run or less in 3 of his last 4 starts. And he has given up 2 earned runs or less in 5 of 7 starts now. And then we got Mr. Luis Castillo. He did have that early season slump. As you can see, his numbers are getting down there now. He's given up 2 earned runs or less in 5 straight starts, and he's coming off a dominant 7-inning, 3-hit shutout of the Atlanta Braves last time out. And then the final one, there he is. Ferris Walker Buehler is back. Again, like I said, he hasn't pitched since 2022. He was an absolute stud in his last full season, which was a few years ago now, with a 2.47 ERA, 2.12 on the strikeouts in 207 innings. What are we going to see from him? Will he have a pitch count? I have not heard yet. I'm sure they'll come out and say something, but he has an unbelievable matchup. I mean, the greatest matchup on planet Earth. He gets to face the Miami freaking Marlins without Luis Arias now, who is traded. So anyways, that is the pitcher report. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. As you can see, Mr. Kyle Gibson does not miss many bats, and his expected ERA is 5.53, getting a little lucky right now with a 3.79 ERA. So on and so on. So that is the pitcher report. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link below in the description and go check that out now. Bet number 1 takes us out to Los Angeles. We got the Dodgers hosting the Miami Marlins. Dodgers money line minus 270. Marlins money line plus 220. I'm going to keep this simple, guys. It's chalky. I apologize. I don't always love going chalky, but give me the Dodgers on the run line, the minus 1.5 at minus 125 on DraftKings. To be honest, I'm kind of confused why I'm getting minus 125 on the run line for a team that is minus 270 on the money line. I mean, that is incredible. Let's be real honest here. This is probably the best team in the league versus maybe the worst or at least a bottom 3 team in the MLB. Obviously, that doesn't always mean a multiple 2+ run win, but let's talk about the matchup a little bit. Walker Ferris Bueller. We've already talked about him. This is his first start since 2022, and that's maybe why we're getting a little bit of a discount, but he was the ace of the staff at one point. His rehab starts were okay. I'm going to trust him here because he's coming back and facing the Marlins, guys. And if I stretch just enough, I may be able to throw a couple shutout innings against the Marlins. Seriously, this team has been bad. Fifth worst WRC plus, fourth worst OPS, third worst on base percentage. They're just terrible. And guess what? All these numbers were when they had the best hitter on their team, Luis Arias, but now he is traded to the San Diego Padres. So they do not have him anymore. Jake Berger still in the IL. Bueller should be just fine here. Obviously, it's taking a chance a little bit. We don't know what we're going to see it from him, but I mean, thinking a guy who used to be just an absolute stud is going to get rocked by the Marlins, I don't really see it. But anyways, he's going up against the youngster Roddery Munoz. He hasn't been that bad. It's only been 2 starts, though. He's 24 years old. He's faced the Rockies, which was in Miami, and the Cubs in Wrigley Field. He had 7 strikeouts in both games, so not bad. If you don't know much about him, he's a guy who throws a cutter, sinker, slider, got about a mid-90s fastball. He's been decent, but he's facing the Dodgers now. And his third ever start in the major leagues, and now he faces a whole different animal. They're elite in almost every category. I'm not even going to go through all of it. You guys already know that. Shohei is unbelievable. Mookie Betts, the team, Will Smith is just raking right now. I mean, this team is unreal. And now, let's go back to the Marlins. In their last 12 losses, 11 of those have been by 2 or more runs. So if you're going to fade them and you're just taking the run line every time, you have been very successful on their losing games, at least. So I don't need to tell you too much more. The lineup is just a million times better. I still trust Walker Bueller enough. Even if you want to say that's a wash and Munoz throws okay, I still think with the bullpen advantage and the lineup advantage, the Dodgers should be able to win by 2+ runs. I know they're at home. They're probably only going to get 8 at-bats, but I think that's enough. So give me the Dodgers to win by 2 or more as my first best bet. All right, the second game takes us out to Cleveland. We got the Guardians hosting the Detroit Tigers. Guardians on the money line, -122. Tigers on the money line, +102 with a low total of 7.5 runs. We talked about this guy a little bit earlier. I'm not taking his Ks, though. Give me Jack Flaherty over 17.5 outs recorded at -130 on DraftKings. I think this is another line where we're getting good value here, to be honest with you. He's coming off an incredible performance, like we talked about, striking out 14 hitters. In that game where he struck out 14, he went 6.2 innings. That's pretty impressive. Striking out guys can lead to higher pitch counts and things like that. And he almost went the full 7. He only gave up 2 hits. He's gone over this line in 5 of 6 starts this year. That's right. So he's gone over it 5 of 6, and I feels weird that we're still getting normal. I thought it'd be like -160, -170. That's 17.5. So I'll gladly take this. Going up against the Guardians team, they're okay, I guess. I thought they'd be good enough, by the way. You're going to hear some things you think, why would you take Griffin Canning yesterday then? Well, Canning sucks. Somehow he just pitched a heck of a game against the Guardians, but this Guardians team has been kind of average, and they're without their leadoff hitter now. Stephen Kwan is on the IL with a hamstring injury, I believe. He's a guy who can really work your pitch count a little bit. He can get hits. He can cause havoc on the base pass, all this kind of stuff. He is one of those engines at the top of their lineup. So without him, it is going to hurt. But they've been coming back down to earth a little bit lately. Last 2 weeks, they've been around average in pretty much all offensive categories. Again, I still thought Canning would go under yesterday, but this helps Flaherty a little bit here in regards to this matchup because the Guardians don't strike out a lot. We've talked about that before. They make contact. That can kind of help sometimes. As long as the contact's not single, double, gapper, home run, which I don't see that happening a lot here because Jack Flaherty's been unbelievable. But if they're going to make contact, they're going to swing at first pitches. That's going to help for quicker outs. He doesn't need this 5-pitch strikeout. It could be a 1-2 pitch ground out kind of thing. So when you have a guy if he does get 10 to 14 Ks, then that does make that pitch count a little higher. So I do like seeing that the Guardians are a bottom 10 team in regards to how many pitches they've seen this year. They do make some contact. I just have to believe that the contact's not going to be that great. Flaherty's been unbelievable. Not only has he been good this year, he's actually due for positive regression. He's been getting a lot of weak contact this year, and he's been really stretched out. So you're going to get some starts from him. He's thrown 93 or more pitches in 5 straight starts. He already hit 100 pitches in one game. I was not a believer in him when he was on the Cardinals the last couple of years. He had no control, no anything. He only has more than 1 walk in one game this year. I mean, his command is absolutely there. I'm starting to become a believer in Mr. Flaherty. He is a gamer. He wants to go deep into games. He's said it before after games. And he, like I said, guys, he's done this in 5 of 6 starts. Guardians are nothing special offensively that makes me worry about it. So let's ride the Flaherty train. Give me Flaherty over 17.5 outs recorded as my second best bet. All right, we got a new promotion with FanDuel that we have to talk about. For new users only, bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Go put it on some easy bet, make it win, and go get those bonus bets. If you're thinking about signing up for FanDuel, now is a great time because this is a limited time offer only. And if you want to know how to do it, go down to the description below this video, click on that FanDuel link, and go sign up. Only takes a couple minutes. Put that first bet in on some huge favorite, get that win, and get the bonus bet. So, of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this third and final bet takes us out to Kansas City. We got the Royals hosting the Brewers. Royals money line minus 142. Brewers on the money line plus 120. Before I get into this third and final best bet, any added plays, just a reminder, will be in the pinned comments below in the morning or whatever time it is your time, and also on X and on Discord. So here we go. It's Mr. Cole Reagans over 6.5 Ks at minus 130 on FanDuel. Yes, we already talked about this. He was in the good pitcher strikeout matchup, and I am taking it because I thought this line was going to be 7.5. Now, this 130 on FanDuel is, as of recording this, I actually just put it out on Twitter because I want to make sure people got the line. It's been out on Discord. I put that out before I record the video. It is minus 145 on DraftKings when I last saw it, minus 150, I think, on another book, but FanDuel has minus 130. I'd probably play it to minus 140. I don't love going much more juice than that. But like I said, I thought this line would be a little bit more. I think he's going to get 8+ Ks. Like we mentioned before, the Brewers have the 7th highest K rate versus lefties this season. This is going to be Reagan's best strikeout matchup he has had all season long. So he has 7 or more Ks in 4 of his 7 starts. So let's talk about the 3 he missed. One of them, he was actually on pace to get an absolute crap ton. It was a rain delay after only 1.2 innings against the Orioles. He already had 4 strikeouts. That's right. Out of the 5 outs he already got, he had 4 strikeouts. So that doesn't really count. Let's be honest with you. He was on his way to well over 7. The other 2 he missed, the Blue Jays and the Orioles, or the Blue Jays and the Astros. Astros, how about the lowest strikeout rate in the entire major leagues versus lefties? Blue Jays, the 4th lowest. 2 incredibly tough matchups. They don't compare to this Brewers team, who, like I said, is the 7th highest strikeout team. Other than that, he's been getting 7 or more against any team that's been kind of average. And now this is the top 10 team, top 7 team. So on top of all the K numbers, Brewers 23rd in WRC plus versus lefties, 27th in batting average. Get this, they are hitting 198 versus lefties right now. They are struggling, and now they get one of the best lefties in the game. They are 18th in on-base percentage. It is a great matchup for Mr. Reagans. When they struggle hitting, that also means deeper into ball games. That also means more chances for strikeouts. If you haven't seen a pitch, you got to go watch him. He's nasty. I expect 7 or more strikeouts. I expect 8 or more, but I only need 7. Love the value here. So give me Reagans over 6.5 Ks as my third and final best bets. I know I don't have a Nerfy yet. I'll maybe get there. If I do, I'll put it in the pinned comments. Maybe I have a hitter parlay or another bet or something, but just stay tuned for that. Again, it's only 10-game slate. Don't want to force too much, but that's what we got for today. Let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The Dodgers minus 1.5 against the Marlins, and then Jack Flaherty over 17.5 outs recorded, and finish it up with Mr. Cole Reagans over 6.5 Ks. And those are my 3 best bets for Monday, May 6th. Again, that NBA best bets video is already out, so go check it out. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Let's keep it rolling this week. This would be awesome to just stay hot all week long and continue from that 23-10 run we are on. But anyways, I hope everyone has a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.